At Wayfair, there are millions of ways.
It would be nice would be if we could actually choose which commercials or which ads would run on our stuff. Not going to do that for us, are you? How is this possible that we have a like before we have anyone watching? Okay, it's charging. We're on. Hello, Witchy. And their majesty. Yeah, no, it's okay, Witchy. We figured it was you. Hello, Orchid. Good to see you. We're just still setting up. We ran a little late, but most of you kind of come in a little. All right, anyway, it is what it is. So forgive us while we pour our tea and get settled here. Feel free to chat, say hey, good morning, whatnot. Hello, Blue Rose. Let's see if our tea is properly brewed yet. You'll notice there's a nice golden color to the tea. That's how you know that it's brewed long enough. Apparently. Joe, you're not going outside. Please stop howling. We will probably experience some cat howling because our boy Cheddar is convinced that he wants to go outside in the morning now, despite the fact that it is far too hot in our particular neck of the woods for a responsible pet owner to let their pet out. So he's just going to have to wait until later this evening when we take the cats for our catwalk. And not the do a little turn on the catwalk, on the catwalk, on the catwalk. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, good morning. Go and give me a thumbs up, please, if you can hear us okay. Or just a whatever. Let's see, who do we have here? Witchy, their majesty, Orchid, Blue Rose. Hello, Oxymorn, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hello, Christina. Okay, looks like the sound is coming through nicely. Sounds good. Ellie, hello. Good to see you guys. Sorry we got started a little bit late, but it's we just got up about an hour and a half ago. Insomnia, we've told you guys. So here's our liquid breakfast. Don't worry, it's carnation, which we shouldn't drink being lactose intolerant, or at least the body is, but it's one of these things where it's like we refuse to give up our moo juice. So we're trying those stupid, pills that you're supposed to take when you drink or eat your lactate, because I ain't going to chew those things. But anyway, when we wake up, we're not hungry. We're generally actually not hungry until like 5, 6 o'clock. So we've kind of centered around this as our breakfast because 8 essential vitamins and minerals recommended by a company near you. So anyway, we used to basically not eat anything at all until dinner time, and then only like one small meal, just because as we've gotten older, our appetite has went down. But also, it's we found out it's rigged into the trauma. Because food was withheld from us as a control measure. So we grew up accustomed to that hungry gnawing feeling in the gut. And so we've had to literally force ourselves to go, okay, we need to eat, the body needs fuel, but in order to stop us from being nauseous first thing in the morning, we've centered on this. Compromises. So yeah, generally carnation and some breakfast and tea. That's our breakfast. So forgive us while we finish this real quick. Okay. Let us see what we shall see. So let's see here. Christine, Ellie, Oxymoron, their majesty, Witchy, saying lactose-free milk isn't too bad. Just heard it's expensive out there. Yes, it is. We found one called oat milk, which Roses actually turned us on to, which actually isn't that bad. We were excited because we've tried like the almond milk and the silk, and it just tastes nasty. But the oat milk, surprisingly, tasted exactly like you would expect it to, like the milk at the bottom of a bowl of oatmeal after you're done. You know that bit down there where you're like, ooh, and it contains all the oaty goodness. At least for us, it would be maple and brown sugar because that's our favorite. Favorite, yes, there's your new word. It's our favorite. Cho-Cho, well, you're not going to go out. Shush. Now stop meow bombing my live stream. Meow. No, it's too hot. Don't make me get the squirt bottle. Come here. Pets. Scratches. All right, now stop. Go foosh. What? You gonna try to climb up on my lap now? Yes, you are definitely going to try to climb up on my lap. Come on. We'll jump. We'll jump. Come on. Get up here. Look, I'm sure my viewers don't want to, listen to me talk to you, so, well, you make up your mind, but you're not going out, so stop staring at me like that. But anyway, yeah, oat milk was actually pretty good, so we're trying to wean ourselves over to that, but there's still this mental, didn't come from a cow, therefore it's not milk thing. Anyway, so yeah, but yeah, it is expensive. $4.20, it's like $6 for a half gallon or something, and it's just like ouch. But then of course it's now $4 for a gallon of milk. It's just ridiculous. Walmart just jacked the price of cat food up by another dime, so now it's like $1 a piece per can because their store brand is out of stock all the time. I don't know if you guys have it where you are here in the States, but Walmart started this, online thing where you check it and then they push these blue carts around and do your order and then take it out to you. Well, unfortunately, what this is doing is it's cutting out the stock levels for those of us who don't use that service. So when we go in to find stuff, we can't find it. So it's just irritating. Sorry, we're just babbling on. But yeah, we have tried the oat milk is good. So let's get off that. So let's see, Jocelyn, hello, good to see you. How has everyone's month been? We'll get into that. Let us just catch up on your hellos and everything. Alicia saying hello. Let's see, Kaleidoscopes are watching with us today. Hello from them too. Hello, Kaleidoscopes. Good to see you there. Thanks for tuning in with Oxymoron there. Ellie says, on the road to South Padre Island for a Pride event and the beach for the first time in 16 years. This is going to test out our social anxiety and system being about more than we have on in the past. Good for you. Good step to get out there. That is terrifying, frankly, we know. So good on you. Good on you, Ellie. Make sure that hopefully you've brought your little self-care kit that we were talking about in the last one, which basically if you've got any anti-anxiety meds or a grounding rock, or I know we've talked about scents, like essential oils. Hopefully you've got those. If not, you've got some, tips and techniques to ground you if and when you get freaked out a little bit. So don't forget to breathe, and of course drink water. And good luck to you. Have fun. That's one of the hardest things is telling ourselves it's okay to have fun and enjoy ourselves. Really, truly, we're safe now. So yeah, good on you for getting out there, and let us know how that goes. Thanks for listening to us as you're heading in. Let's see, Christina, at this point in my life, just whole milk just tastes wrong to me. Yeah, we grew up on 1% and mostly 2% later on. But yeah, whole milk is just like, oh my God, you can just literally taste the milk fat. But yeah, it's Moo Juice has been our lifelong friend until recently, and then it decided to turn on us. So. Let's see here. You are 29. Grats. Definitely. Grats. Let's see. Will's mom. Hello there. Hi, Chris and Ias. Wanted to say hi, but I'm not at home to watch right now. I will watch soon. Be well and stay safe. Absolutely, Will's mom. You too. Witchy redacted a message. Okay, let's see. Alicia is saying, "Are you all right so far, Chris? You look tired today." You're very observant, Alicia. Yes. Let's just catch up on the hellos and then we'll get to that. But yeah, you're dead on. We are very tired, and there's reasons for that. Mark, hello. Good to see you again. I hope everything's going good. Hope your, I don't know if it was a webinar, if it was a direct presentation where you showed your video went off well. That was very insightful. Thank you. And thank you, of course, for shouting out to us. We greatly appreciate that. And for allowing us to preview that before you actually sent it out. So respect on all levels there. And it's good to see you. We were hoping that you'd pop by a stream. Let's see here. Witchy's saying, "Oh, Porty, don't understand his paws will burn outside." Yeah. Can you see the beautiful boy? No, unfortunately, he already left the room. He'll wander back in at some point. So probably the next time he wanders in to be annoying, we'll hold him up for you and give you a cat paw. Let's see here. Christina had to close the stream and then open again since my screen showed black. Yeah, YouTube can be weird. Hey, ma'am, what's up? Hey, motion sickness medication is helping. Good. Let's see, Ellie going with roommate at least. That's good. You've got somebody going along with you to the beach. That's awesome. We miss the ocean. We miss the beach. Unfortunately, where we live, we're far away from it. But we've always loved the ocean, and it's just something just once. And this is a weird bucket list thing, but just once. So we'd like to sit on a warm beach for a day and do nothing. Just sit there and listen to the ocean waves and stare out and watch the boats and just do nothing. Yeah, that would be so great. But every time that we've been traveling to an ocean, it's either the wrong season and it's cold as, or it's we don't have the time. We were with family and kids and everything else, and the young kids aren't exactly conducive to staying in one spot for a long time. So it's just been a mismatch of time and location and whatnot, but just once before we finally croak, we'll get to do that. So good for you, Ellie. You enjoy the beach for us. Okay, let's see here. 5 Pieces of 9 just got the message that you're live. Hello, 5 Pieces of 9. Probably Ilian up front right now, we're guessing. Maybe. If not, let us know. Let's see. Their Majesty Moo Juice is the best nickname for milk I've ever heard. Yeah, that's what we call it, Moo Juice. Just don't think too hard about it, but yeah. Let's see. Okay, Mark saying it's next month, the Plural Associations event. Yeah, and actually, Mark, if you could drop some info in that, maybe throw a link or something in the comments or in the description so that other folks who might be in your area or somewhere around it, I don't know if it's a national thing, might be able to tune into that as well. If not, that's cool. Anyway. Just thinking of the others there. Okay, so let's see, Rose. Everybody's going, hi. High five. Smith, good. Went to the ocean since you're 13 when we were in California for 2 months and a friend and his grandparents. Yeah, we've been to California several times, and it's a lovely state. Too expensive, but it's a lovely state, and the ocean is just beautiful. Okay, let's see here. M saying, in England, the seaside sucks. That's what we've heard. Very cold and rocky and whatnot. Witchy's saying Brighton Beach isn't too bad here in the UK. We'd love to visit the UK at some point, really. Here we are with the bucket list things again. But, it's one of these things where we'd love to travel, but it's also one of these things where you just have to be realistic and resign yourself to the fact that you're never going to have that money and it's never going to happen. So you just, nice to dream. But yeah. But then also, it's like with travel as a system, travel has always really freaked us out and left us feeling unsettled. Of course, we've been diagnosed since we last traveled anywhere, and oh my God, was that a nightmare? Oh. Not the worst Christmas ever, but pretty close. Anyway, long story. So yeah, we've wondered now how we would do traveling as a system, and if we could kind of keep that more under control and realize, because that's a large part of where we're at right now, is sorting through, okay, what's a trauma-based reaction and what isn't, why are we reacting this way, and what was causing it. So maybe it would be a little easier. And here he comes back. All right, as promised, cat bomb. Give me just a sec to grab him. And there goes my nice. Come here. Yeah, good boy. No, yes, come here. Oh, your adoring public wants to see you. Here he is. This is. Come on, look at the camera. Look at the camera. There we go. This is Chocho. Say hi, Chocho. Okay, that's enough because he's not a particularly holdy, touchy cat. It took us literally years before he would sit on our lap. No, he's just very skittish and always has been, even though we got him as a kitty. Actually, we know what happened that made him skittish when she was about 4 for, I think it was her birthday or something. Anyway, our wife was friends with another couple and they had 2 daughters, and I forget exactly what it was, but they came over, and unfortunately they were just, Colby and Cheddar were just kittens, and the girls somehow got hold of him and took him into the room and proceeded to do the let's do makeup on the cat with little dresses and whatnot. And we came in about a half hour when we noticed that Cheddar was nowhere to be found, only to find this. And he's never quite been trusting since then, but he's come a long way. We had to work really hard with him to build trust. So that's Cheddar, or Chocho as we call him. Just started calling him that out of the blue because it was Cheddar, and then it was Chocho. Don't know why. So there you go. Obligatory cat bomb. You're welcome. Okay, back to you will excuse us here. You know that we indulge. Well, it's for medical reasons as well, and it's legal where we are. So if you'll excuse us, we need to get some homeopathic painkiller into us, because we've had, yeah, this gets back to what Alicia was saying about us looking tired. So hang on, let us catch up here. Okay, Brighton Beach, way too hot where I live to actually go outside right now. Yeah, same here. 5 pieces of 9, generally videos. Okay, they're talking back. Okay, so it's cloud at the moment. Hello, cloud. Okay, yeah, Mark saying, and it's free. Travel is very challenging, especially TSA. Yeah, no kidding. Would be an interesting story to hear if you ever felt like it. We'll think about it. It was just a, oh dear Lord, that trip was just a cluster all the way around, and really it was kind of our fault because we're frugal is a good way to put it. And so we did. Yeah, okay, we're not gonna go into it. Just ask us sometime about the Christmas trip that from hell at some point. We don't want to lose focus here. Okay, not that we really ever had it, but so yeah, Alicia saying love the beaches. Edinburgh is great. Not a real beach. Yeah, there you go. Okay. England is overrated. London is not that great, but it's where I know traveling is chaotic. Oh yeah, Majesty saying another UK follower here. I agree, but as I go, you should try Clinton Beach. Yeah, we've got quite a few of you guys over there in the UK. Jelly, much rather be there than in the States right now. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Hello, Roses. Let's see. Yeah, and even though we know that there are some major news topics that we could discuss today. We're not going to do that because one, that's not what our channel is about. We have made a hard and fast rule, pretty much, not to discuss religion, politics. Well, sex we have to discuss because it's tied in with the trauma, but religion and politics are pretty. We don't cover that here. So we're not going to touch on that. I'm sure all of you know exactly what we're referring to. It's worth talking about, but not here. So yeah, just that's our thing on that. Okay, 5 is saying do what they need to do to be stable. Right, medication. Yeah. Let's see. Don't think I could handle Texas since I wanted to go to Scotland during the summer. Laugh out loud. Alicia is from Germany, actually, but spent some time in England and Scotland a few years ago and loved it there. Okay. Lived in Germany for 3 years, 78 to 81. I'm going to bet you that was a deployment, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Turns political real fast. Yeah, exactly. It's 94, feels like it's 102. I think it's probably about 110 out where we're at. We're not sure. Let's see. Feel Ellie Corby. Okay, always end up getting into politics discussion. It's kind of a talent at this point. Yeah, it's not that we aren't interested in discussing those things. It's that our grandmother had basically three rules at the dinner table or when you're visiting. You don't discuss politics, religion, or sex. Period. That's it. So we kind of grew up that way. When we were in the safe environment that was our grandparents' house, our only safe environment. Um, but we love to debate. We love discourse in the truest Greek forum sense of the word. We love to argue opposing viewpoints and things like that. Unfortunately, people don't know how to do that anymore nowadays. To just argue points without getting all up in everybody else's faces. So while it is certainly stimulating to have a good intellectual conversation with people who can understand the validity of both sides or at least agree to disagree. At this point in human history, unfortunately, that seems to be a thing of the past. And our goal here on the channel is not to piss. Well, I mean, I know that we're going to piss people off. We know that we have pissed people off, but that's not the focus, as it were. So that's basically our thing on it. It's just too thorny. There's too many people. It's just in the world right now, we can't even agree what's truth and what is a lie because we're all wrapped up in our own little perceptual bubbles, and it's just hurtling towards the end of civilization as we know it. Here's hoping that we survive. Knock on wood. So yes. Let's see here. Ooh, South Africa, which he lived from 2002 to 2004. That must have been interesting. Let's see here. Yeah, it was in Germany on account of the U.S. Army, but loved it. Yeah. Whenever anybody says, "Oh yeah, I was in Germany for a 3-year span," that screams deployment. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. M says, I've heard growing up, don't bring up politics or religion unless you want an argument. Exactly. Nuremberg area, yeah. Our country looks the same. Okay, so hot up. Ooh, 70 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment as it is 10:30 in the evening. Ooh, very nice. Enjoy it for us, Oxy, and I believe it was Kaleidoscopes. That she's always sitting. Okay, so who was it asked how were we? We look tired. Yeah, Alicia. Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna set the tablet down. Yeah, we're exhausted to be dead honest, and it's been a rough month. About 2 months ago, we started getting this shooting, stabbing, searing, burning pain right through the back of our ankle, just above the ankle, right around the Achilles tendon area. And at first we thought, oh, maybe we'd stepped wrong or something like that, but it's from out of nowhere. It would be like somebody was literally just using a red hot tongs to rip at the muscles there. And it hurts like hell. We had plantar fasciitis once before and learned, to stretch out the foot and everything, and we did that. But for whatever reason, this started to kick in, and it's absolute murder, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And we finally got our ass into the doctors because we're just so fond of doing that. But eventually the pain will drive us to do it, even though we have like an insanely high pain threshold for reasons. So, yeah, anyway, we finally got ourselves to go into the GP and he's like, okay, well, let's get you x-rayed. So it's like, oh, joy, yet another medical thing we get to make ourselves do. So we go and we get the x-rays, which was actually fairly painless. And nice, and then had another appointment, and he basically diagnosed us. We've got a bone spur on our right heel, but it's not the one that goes underneath, it's the one that's on top which in on the back of the heel, and that's right where the Achilles tendons connect. So that's where we've got it, and it is agonizing. We actually got we actually broke down and asked him if he could prescribe us some painkillers because we just simply couldn't take it anymore, and we try to avoid using narcotics anywhere at all. We're very homeopathic. It's like, okay, let's take the path of minimal impact on our body. Plus, we've had chronic pain and back issues from, again, trauma all over the course of our life, and there was one point. When we were pretty much addicted to the painkillers. They had us on ungodly amounts of painkillers, and we couldn't take it. And finally, and we think we mentioned this before, we could not live as a zombie. It was either we live as a zombie and we're non-functional and feel muffled all the time and drugged, or we live with the pain. And we preferred to live with the pain, and so we've been living with that, and so this unfortunately has exacerbated it. It's like right now we've got fire running up and down our leg, and of course there's been problems with the insurance. They issued us the pain pills, and we go and we have them filled, and the pharmacist is like, well, I'm sorry, but your insurance company only partially filled this because blah blah blah, they only pay for half it. So now it's like we have like 3 pain pills left to get us through the weekend here, and that's really not going to cut it. But it is what it is, because we can't actually see our GP until Monday, and we're not sure how this is going to work anyway. So it's like, but we finally got the appointment with the podiatrist. That's for next week. So more than likely, we're going to have that bone spur shaved down. And who knows? Basically, it's going to depend upon how much damage we've got to the Achilles tendon region there, because we've been doing, of course, data has to go and research everything about it. So anyway, yeah, that's so we've been dealing with the pain and everything, that we've been trying to just keep up our normal schedule. But it's been sapping our energies, because it's tough to be creative or actively produce anything when you're in agony, and we've been in agony. So yeah, we do apologize for not getting the Moon Knight wrap up episode out. We are working on it. It's just this came and it kind of kicked us in our butt. And we also wanted to get the TITH episode out, but basically the pain has just completely sapped our energies. And we have to be very careful about marshaling our energies, because we will overextend ourselves if we're not careful. And then eventually the body goes bang, boom, crash. And unfortunately, at this point in our life, God, I'm admitting that we're old, we need to marshal those energies. So yeah, that's why we look tired, because we're in searing pain. And we've just been learning to live with it. And I'm sure there are those of you out there who deal with chronic pain. When you live with chronic pain, you learn that you just have to push past it. You learn to live with it, to try to minimize the side effects, but it's always there. And you come to learn why animals who are caught in a trap will chew their legs off just to get away from the pain. We completely understand that. Because that's pretty much how it feels. We're not comfortable. We haven't been able to sit, walk, or lay down comfortably for over 20 years. And we've been the full rounds of all the doctors. We've been tested and poked and prodded and scanned and electrified and every other thing on the face of the planet. So yeah, anyway, that's just, we're exhausted. We are flat out exhausted. Well, we felt bad because we need to get we want to get Percival is going, we need to get an episode for the littles out. Oh, I didn't realize that my glasses were visible, or our glasses were visible there. Pronouns have been shifting lately. We're not sure why. It's just a weird thing. I think we've noticed that when one of us is fronting, that we're starting to use I as more a personal identifier as for who's up front, rather than generally we don't know. We just go with it. because the pronouns are screwed anyway. So, but yeah, that's what's been going on, and we've been seeing all these comments. So we're going to get back to those real quick here as we pour ourselves another cup of cranberry blood orange. Although we do know, hey, Witchy, thank you. We did get your recommendations on the teas. Thank you for those. We're going to look into those. For Father's Day, we sent out our thing for on Instagram where we got some Father's Day presents, and our wife actually did a lot of research to find the tea that she got for us. I don't have the name of it in front of us, but it's like the same that Her Majesty actually drinks. These guys have a royal warrant and have provided tea for the royalty for God only knows how long. So she really went all out and got us a tin full of smoky Earl Grey from this place, and probably paid through the nose not only for it, but to have it shipped here because it was shipped direct in. It's exquisite. It's not, okay, I can drink this every day type tea. It's more one of those, okay, let's treat ourselves. This is something special. Yeah, it's incredible. Really, really good. And we're not a fan of smoky generally, but they actually balanced it really well. And we've discovered that we can kind of control just how smoky it is by the steeping time. Or I don't know, Percival's in charge of it. So yeah, we did get your things on the teas, but we do actually have some honest to God, like best tea in the world type tea now. So there's that. At least we're not drinking the standard crap anymore. Yes, you were right, Percival. We know. All right, so let's the chat log here. See where we're going here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Ellie, you're in Texas near Mexico. We're sorry. Okay, sorry. Sorry. Well, we are in the Southwest as well, region. So, yeah, we sympathize. Trust me. There's a certain feeling to the West Coast. Okay, so yeah, Texas brutal in the summer, brutal because you guys got the humidity as well. Of course, so do we. So you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see. Transpolitical real fast. 94. Okay, let's see. South Africa. Okay, let's see. Yeah, famous by city, Edinburgh. We've been watching this guy called the Tim Traveler on YouTube. He's UK based there, and he's like into all antique trains and things like that. So he goes around, but he goes around to the various cities, and he gives like little tidbits and kind of, I don't want to say a travelogue because it's not really that, but he goes into the history of it. And it's really fascinating. We've kind of been binge watching his stuff when we finally make ourselves sit down for 5 minutes or so. So we've been getting to see a lot. This is how we are going to see Europe, is vicariously. So you UK and European YouTubers who do those travel video type things, thank you, because it's the only way that most of us will ever probably get to see. So anyway, excuse us. Okay, let's see. Country coming, Edinburgh. Yeah, dark, gloomy, and foggy. I would love that as well. Let's see. We're catching up. Okay, let's see. Witchy's saying, could some high-strength edibles help? Yeah, but there we get into the how high is the CBD content of this particular brand versus the THC content, and edibles take they metabolize differently than the actual smoke. Instagram. Okay, yeah, I think that was you, Mark. We can't do two at once, so we'll get back to you on that. But yeah, I'm sorry, where were we? Let's see here. Oh yeah, the edibles. Yeah, the trouble is that they metabolize too slow, and it's tougher to judge the amount that we need. So we've settled on the cartridges as the best way. It's just what works best for our needs. But yeah, it probably would, but then it's also kind of in the same category as the painkillers. Really, we would need an indica-leaning hybrid or an indica, and that's going to make us go, and it's as bad as the pain pills were a zombie. So a little bit healthier, but yeah, a good thought, witchy, but unfortunately, not unless we don't have anything to do for like 2 days straight, and of course that's just never happens. And yes, the insurance, it sucks. Okay, let's see here. Ellie's saying, "Want to try edibles?" Yeah, like we were just saying, it's that's actually how most folks are experiencing it nowadays. But keep in mind, like we just said, it metabolizes completely different because your body is digesting it rather than inhaling it. So it's a much longer effect that takes place slower. So keep that in mind. That's why edibles. It's really highly recommended, no pun intended, that you're with an experienced person who knows how to medicate properly and not just go into it. Because with edibles, you can. It's not overdosing because the worst that's going to happen is you fall asleep. You can't OD on pot. Sorry, it's like literally impossible. You can make yourself sick. You can fall asleep, but you're not going to OD. But you can make yourself really sick doing it. So avoid doing that. And if you are going to, don't do it alone. Do it with somebody who has and can walk you through the tougher parts. So yeah. Ouch. Let's see here. So. Let's see whether or not Northmore Moon Knight series was amazing, but episode 5 and 6 hit really hard. Yeah, and to be honest, that's part of it. Is we've kind of got an aversion to having to go back and finish it, but it's also one of these things where we need to finish it because it's something that we've said that we're going to do, that we're promised that we're going to do. And whenever you hear us spout the words "we promise," that means you can take it to the bank. We're going to get to it. We'll do it eventually, no matter how hard it is. Because that's also how we challenge ourselves. I'm sorry we're coughing so much. It's just actually on that. Just hang on just a second here. Let us. Okay, sorry. Just far more polite to do that where you can't hear it. Whoops. Hello. Come on. There we go. Okay. So let's see here. So yeah, we will get to it. How many voices inside said we're not old? Haha. Yeah. Okay. Now this is something actually. Thank you, Cloud, because we were thinking on this the other day. Um, when we're young, we tend to think of things in stages. Okay, we're a child, we're a teenager, we're a young adult, we're an adult, and they're all separate, distinct stages. The truth of it is that past the young adult stage, you're pretty much who you're going to be for the rest of your life. I mean, there will be changes, but pretty much your personality, which we all realize that how that forms now because it's intimately tied to having DID. Your personality is kind of set, and your self-image of yourself is really set. And it's like, for example, and this kind of goes into like how the littles will see. They don't see themselves in an adult body. They see as they were. But as you get older, it's funny because your body will age around you, but who you are inside, your thoughts and your desires and whatnot, essentially, I, Chris, am the same that I was when I was 20-ish, right in around there, maybe 20, 21. We've basically been that same person with the same outlooks, or I have, until we discovered we were multiple. This gets complicated. Anyway, don't expect any real vast changes as you get older. Mostly it's just going to be your body starting to betray you. And although we've noticed it's like, when you're young, you always are in like working retail or something, you get those customers who are older, they just want to chat and they stand in the line and la 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 la. It's not that we found ourselves doing that, but we have a new perspective now on why. Because after you get about the age of 50, you start to kind of feel, I don't want to say left out, but it's as though And here you go, kids. Here's a truism that you'll probably never hear your parents admit. When you have kids and when they start to become young adults, it's difficult to reconcile these are my children. I changed your diapers. I fed you and cleaned you and have tried to guide you. And you became a teenager. And now you're becoming a young adult. All we really want is to connect on that adult level now. It's you finally growing up enough to where we can start to relate to you on a person to person, adult to adult basis. And so, while it may seem that we're being a little smothery sometimes, I mean, we've kind of been the very, okay, we trust our kids and we're here if you need us to guide you. Never be afraid to call, but by the same time, we're not going to, shield you from every bump in the road. But what we most really want is just that adult level connection. And it can be difficult to watch your child grow up and begin to move away from you. There's this great line in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade where Sean Connery, Indiana Jones's dad, saying, "You left just when you were becoming interesting," and that's always stuck with us. And that's kind of part of it for this first time. As you guys get older and you start to hit in your 20s or your late teens, it's like, wow, now I can share all the shit that I think is cool, and we can, find out and explore cool shit together. And then by that time, you guys are like, ew, I want to get away from mom and dad. I don't want to have anything to do with them. They're being clingy and cloying. No, we're desperately trying to connect with you on an adult level. And in the process, some of us may be a little clingy and not make that transition as well. Like I say, we've always been kind of not helicoptery, keep the kids safe, but allow them to express their own interests. So I'm not sure if this had a point, but there you go, guys. A little bit of perspective from the 50-year plus on why those people might want to talk to you, particularly as they get older in the grocery store in line, because they're desperate for any type of human contact. Most of their lives consist of watching the TV, and you run your life around your medications and your meals and things like that. And the the drive to do things is there, but by that time your body has already started to betray you. So it's like they say that the youth is wasted on the young. There's a kernel of truth in that. Anyway, philosophizing, rambling. If there is a point, we don't know what the topic was. Excuse us. So anyway, let's see here. Edibles are overrated and taste bad. Yeah, depending upon how they're done. Oh my God, we're saying this. So, okay, it must be talking about our foot. Yeah. Thank you, 5. Yeah, physical stuff. We got it. Terminal age is so young, I don't know how I am here, but since I am host, I guess I have an adult day. And yeah, unfortunately, Ellie, we get you. We get you. So, which sounds real nice. By the way, the very mention of Percival has a little happy stemming as little stories have such a chokehold on us. Yeah. Oh, I hope not. Chokehold type of thing. We understand what you're saying, though. And it's that desire for the safe space. It's a safe space that they know is safe, that they can come back to. And we have 2 episodes that are already shot. I mean, we did this way back before we even started Moon Knight or even moved into the new studio here, room at the opposite end of the house. So they've been there, but we got sidetracked, and so that will probably be the next thing that we push out. Will be one of the little stories, because we know that the littles have been waiting, and Percival has been going poke, 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 poke at the back of our minds, and he will not stop until it's done. He has stopped smirking, you bastard. Anyway. So we're going to try, we'll see. We are working on the Moon Knight. We are going to try to get out an episode of the little stories between now and then. But like I said, we're conserving our energies right now because we do want to deliver, but the chronic pain just, it makes it really hard. Makes it really hard to focus. So anyway, 20 minutes out, got across the bridge to the island. Long traffic. Sheesh. Yeah, I'll bet you. Yep, not urgent at all. Just an FYI for you. Okay, we'll do. We'll go back and check that in a minute. We would, but it's on our phone. We don't have it on our tablet. Okay, let's see here. I'm here to recommend topicals for pain. Yeah, we know roses, and we've tried. Trust us, we tried. How are you people doing it with the chat and listening to Chris talking at the same time? My ADHD brain can't keep up. Let's see, edibles can be manga out, and then you're the twat that everyone draws on the party. Yeah, we feel you, Em. Naomi, don't worry about it. We started a little bit late, so and hello, by the way. Hope everything is going well over there for you guys. Uh, were you on a job search or having an interview last time? We're getting a job niggle from data. If you were, hope it worked out. Let's see here. Back and forth chat and listening. Okay, at the end, grateful that my youngsters have seen that kept the body younger, feel the body's about 30, 40 when actually in mid 60s. Yeah, we're fortunate because in our basically from 19 through 25, we worked at the Grand Canyon National Park and lived and worked up there, as we've mentioned before. And we did a lot of hiking. We have over 800 miles under our belts hiking, or did. This was quite a while ago, obviously, but that experience and keeping ourselves in shape then definitely helped to uh, cut back on the amount of problems that we're having now. So yeah, take care of your bodies early, guys. Start now and take good care of yourselves. Don't slack on it because it gets increasingly harder as you get older. The body just doesn't work as well as it did, and you're not as elastic and flexible and everything. So yeah, exercise, eat right. There's a reason. Oh, Christina taking off. It looks like. Bye bye. Okay. Have the bleh. Be safe, Christina. Drink water. Stay in touch. Okay. Love to you. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so maybe, sorry, we're catching up here, back and forth, chat and listening. Let's see here. M, never have kids. The funny thing is, M, is that when we were younger, right around that time frame, we were adamantly opposed to marriage. We were never going to get married. We were never going to have kids. Of course, now we understand there were a lot of reasons behind that, but we were, and then life went, no, I got plans for you. And the next thing you know, we're married and have two kids, and, and then lose our, and anyway, yeah, life throws you curveballs, that's for sure. So, let's see here. Kids. Have to turn it off. Have to turn off. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. We already said Christina. Okay. Alicia says, feel like you missed at least half of it, which is one of the show here, the live stream, which is why I'm not really active in chat at all. But whatever. I guess I'm just being too perfectionistic again. No, you're not, Alicia. Absorb the content however you can. It can be extremely difficult. And this is actually one of the reasons why we read your guys' questions back, is because we know that not everybody can, watch the chat log and listen at the same time. So that's why we try to read the questions and then answer them, which unfortunately gets us backlogged. But that's more of a service to you guys, so that those of you who just listen can at least follow along with the thread of the conversation. So let's see here. Ellie's saying you're using a new phone as well and still getting used to the sensitivity of pushing buttons. Yeah, ours is about due for an upgrade. Our wife has been on us about that. She's the one, so. Grace to Grace, hello. Haven't seen you in a while. Finally catching you live, though. A late arrival. Not that late. We've only been going about 45 minutes. This be the verse. Hi, folks. We hope everyone's month has been as good as possible. Hello, Violet. It's been up and down for us in massive pain, but yeah. Let's see, Ellie, the youth is wasted on the young. I get upset about how we used our time growing up and now can't go back. Yes, which is why it's important now to make the most of what time you have. Because if there is one single stinking lesson that we can give you, is that the one thing that you never have enough of and that you cannot get back is time. Do not waste your time. Relax, but don't waste it, Let's see here. Yeah, Rosa's saying internet is being spotty, possibly due to solar flares. Sorry if it vanished. No, and actually, I'm not surprised because we do have a major sunspot pointed in Earth's direction right now that literally doubled in size overnight and very well may release a huge solar flare directly at the Earth. So, not surprised that you're having some sunspot issues there. So fingers crossed and holding our breath that we're not going to get slammed with a massive coronal ejection, which will totally wreak havoc on the electrical grid worldwide. So, yeah, or has the potential to do so. Unfortunately, the infrastructure here in the States is really bad and really vulnerable to that kind of things because, hey, we're dumbass and would rather argue in government about stupid things rather than rebuild our infrastructure or, all the things that actually make life livable. The important things. Excuse us, we're really stuffed up today. Let's see. Circadian, hello. God, I haven't seen you in for ages. I haven't been able to join a stream of yours in probably years. Has it been that long? How many years have we been doing this? I know we've over 2 on the channel now, I think. Are we going into our 3rd? I think, maybe. One of you guys tell us. Anyway, how's life going? Long story short, good, bad, in between. Yeah, catch the last live streams if you really want it. Just a mom. Wow, we got all the folks I haven't seen in a while coming out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Long time no see. To all those I know and nice meeting you. All those I've had the pleasure of meeting. Let's see. I'm just skimming here. Let's see. Mark saying job might have been me. Also left Google due to mental health. Started a new job several weeks ago. Going well so far. Excellent. You'd mentioned in your email that no, it was in your video presentation that Google was very understanding, and that's great. Oh man, we wish that the companies that we had worked for had been so understanding. Okay, let's see here. Naomi saying won't be able to stay long. Please excuse me if I just stop chatting at one point. Tend to pass out a lot lately. Not at all. Naomi, get rest. Please. Rest is more important than listening to us drone on. You can always catch the stream later. And for everybody, if you're lurking, we know that there are lurkers. It's okay. You don't have to participate. If you just want to throw us on and fall asleep, whatever. But we thank you for being here. So, yes. But you guys, your health and your sleep and your safety and your sticking food in your belly comes first. Self-care, people. Seriously. All right. Well, stop chiding, Let's see here. Okay. Cotton Candy and Friends is saying, hey, Chris. Talk about the body, older and the body not working so well. You broke our ankle 4 weeks ago. Sweet Jesus, it's not fun. No, we were just explaining, we think before you came on, that we have just discovered that we have a bone spur on the back of our right foot directly above the ankle, right around the Achilles tendon, that has been just putting us in absolute agony, which is why we look so tired. So yeah, we feel you there. We've got our podiatrist appointment next week. Have to make ourselves go to that. So hard mood on the pain there, Cotton Candy. We're sorry that you're having trouble and that your ankle got broke. Ow. Now, you see, interestingly enough, this foot was the same one. Now, we also broke our ankle back when we were about 21 years old. And it's always kind of given us a bit of trouble. So we don't know if that's related or not, but it's not fun. Their Majesty says they're going to have to drop off soon. Thank you for making me feel safe. Typing here can be nerve-wracking. No problem. You're welcome. This is a safe environment. Okay, we keep it pretty neat. We haven't went over the rules because almost everybody who's here already knows the rules anyway, but that's why we have them. That's why we have mods and why we will, do the ban hammer and delete things like that. So far, the last couple of streams, our streams are generally pretty mellow. But yeah, we do police it to keep you guys, to give you a safe space. So thank you. We're glad that it's working for you. But yeah, absolutely. Go get some rest, Their Majesty. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, it's okay, Cotton Candy. Don't worry about typos. Let's see. This be the verse. Massive pain really sucks. Oh, wait. We missed 5 pieces. 9. iCloud, the current host. I'm tired of keeping the secret, so about once a month, when appropriate, this close to a singlet, which some of the other parts don't care for. Oh, okay. I see you're talking back and forth with Oxymore. Okay, never mind. Let's see here. This be really sucks and is so exhausting. We hope it soothes down as soon as can be and hope we all feel comfortable again. Violet, yeah. We've got the pain pills, and we haven't taken ours yet. Today we're chasing the pain, which is where you wait until you start to feel the pain again, and then take the med when you're supposed to take it before you feel the pain. But we needed to kind of be aware as much as we could be for the live stream. So, and no, don't worry, we would be doing the same thing anyway, because, stuff to function during the day. Fortunately, though, the wife is cooking tonight. She's cooking her gumbo, which is kind of her specialty. So we don't normally cook on Saturdays. She pinch hits for us because we take care of the cooking the rest of the week. So we don't need to worry about that. Once we're done with the stream, we'll go and we'll take our pain medication and probably stretch out. I don't know, maybe play some video games or something. We'll see. As we chide ourselves inside for not doing X or at or this or, well, that needs to be done. It's just, excuse us. We apologize for clearing your throat so much. Let's see here. So yeah, thank you, Violet. It will eventually resolve itself, or it will become another pain that we just simply have to live with and ignore. To be that honest, we haven't been pain-free in so long, we're not sure what it would feel like. Okay, so let's see. Mark, old man body issue. I started to have to use a cane regularly to prevent my knee from screaming at me. Yeah, with our back issues, we had to use a cane there for a while as well. And still do off and on, for sure. Pro tip, don't buy one of those sword canes by accident and try to get it through TSA. A friend of ours did that by accident. Friend, quote unquote. Okay, let's see here. Circadian, surprised you remember me. Of course we remember you. We remember almost all of you, actually, or at least Data does. That's his thing. We keep tabs. We care about you guys. Therefore, it's nice to actually remember people and details. But I don't know. It's just how we are. You're welcome. See, a lot of the stuff that we do, we don't actually think about, and everybody's like, oh, God, that's so nice of you. And we're like, but that's just the way you do things. Anyway, but then again, we've talked about this before, self-depreciating. It's when we're offered a compliment or something positive, we don't know how to take it. It makes us feel uncomfortable, confrontation, and we make the self-deprecating joke or comment or something like that because it shifts the focus, and we don't have to deal with that. Thank you. So yeah, avoidance. You don't even understand that you're doing these things until much later. Hang tight, guys. I need to check something real quick. Yes, and actually, hang on. Whoop. Did we lose you? Hello, still there? I think. We still there, guys? Okay, must be because it's popping up. Sorry about that. Should learn not to screw around on the phone when we're doing things. Okay, we're still got the live chat going on. Okay, sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. A notification popped up and it looked so anyway. But yeah, roses, we actually have been trying that, so we're gonna keep on with it. Okay, so let's see here. Sorry, we got sidetracked. So yeah, Mark, we feel you on the cane. Absolutely, yes. Oh, Circadian, yeah, absolutely. I remember you, Circadian. Dragons, hello. How are you doing? Jocelyn, let's see. Hi, Dragon, saying hello. Understand diagnosis and treatment. Let's see. This be the verse. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. No, yeah. Okay, anyway, yes. Let us check back to counseling. Cotton Candy Friends. Cotton Candy and Friends, never have broken a bone in my life, and well, I'm older than you are, lol. Yeah, we actually had a good running thing going. It's like, hey, we managed to make it this far, and yeah, then what happened is we were moving our grandfather And you remember those great big old Craftmatic adjustable beds, great and everything. Well, they had two of them, and we were moving them out of the trailer, and I was on the bottom end of the ramp, and those things are ungodly heavy, and the guy up on the top part of the ramp didn't set himself properly, and the sucker let go and came down on us, and our foot. Okay, I'm not sure I can really do this, but if this is the flat surface of our foot folded in on itself like that. And so nasty. So unfortunately it broke our streak there. But we feel you, Cotton Candy, for sure. Starry Girl, hello. How are you doing? How are things going? Are we still working on our plan? Have we gotten a job yet? How are things going? You know we're going to nag you about this every time. Okay, well, not nag. Support you. Hopefully you're still keeping on top of that. We know that it's difficult to get out there, but we're concerned about you and just checking in, catching you. Okay, so let us know if there's been any movement on that. And don't worry about being late. No problem. Let's see. Ellie, oops, accidentally closed the stream and having internet hiccups crossing the bridge to the island. No problem. We accidentally just paused it as well. Let's see here. We're glad you have plans when you're able to prioritize some time to rest. Yeah, and that's a very tough thing for us to do, is to just sit around and do nothing, because that's part of the conditioning. We're not going to get into that, but yeah, there's reasons. If we weren't serving, we were always serving in some capacity or another. Anyway, enough about that. Trying to keep it light. Good. Sorry, girl. Glad to hear you're doing good. Changing providers. Yeah, okay. Alicia and 5 Pieces of 9 are talking back and saying, service dog. Yeah. 5 Pieces of 9, Cloud is saying to Mark that their system is trying to get a service dog so they can use it for upcoming mobility issues that will arrive. Yeah. Unfortunately, we would need a service cat, such a thing. But yeah, let us know how that works out, though, because we've always kind of been curious. Let's see, saying hello. Other people asking Starry how it's been. Oh, Jocelyn, it's been a ride. Good. Please share. Dump the tea if you're comfortable doing so. Okay, let's see here. Here, Frozen Water back. Okay, yeah. Normally don't see why other people don't feel the same way as us, because they don't. Okay, what's the noise about? Just wondering because it's really loud? Our air conditioner kicked on, but other than that, I'm not sure what other... Maybe it's the air conditioner? Not sure? Yes? No? Anyway, it should let up in a minute. Okay, sorry about that, Cotton Candy. Let's see. So I know, believe me, it's been hard to get that new job. Still trying, though. As long as you're trying, that's the thing. Forward motion. Just keep plugging away at it, because that's how you will eventually get where you're going. A lot of times, I think we give up too easily. Oh, it's too hard. I won't work at it. Here's another of those life lessons. Things aren't done in huge jumps. They're done in small incremental changes. As my grandmother used to say, eat the elephant one bite at a time. Just make sure to start from the right end, for whatever that's worth. Note that she never specified which end was the right end, so I don't know, maybe personal preference. What does elephant taste like anyway? I don't want to know. I like elephants and hippos. Oh, here's a note. Yes, as those of you who saw our Father's Day presents on Instagram, did you know that a group of hippos is not a herd? The official name for a grouping of hippos is a bloat. A bloat of hippos. Fun fact for the day. Okay, so let's see here. Oxy and 5 Pieces are still talking back and forth about that being hard to find a therapist. Yes, okay, here's an update for those of you who have been following the, oh my god, does the Infinity System have a therapist saga or not? Chapter 3. So, we were contacted again by our old therapist. Again. and who basically found out what we knew right off the bat last time around, that the company that she was going to work for were a little bit sketch and didn't have the greatest of representation, and not only that, but they didn't accept our insurance, which, as we stated in the past, she probably should have checked on before calling us first. Well, anyway, we folded it away. We just saved all the emails and filed it away because that's data. He keeps things. He's an information pack rat. Every several years, we have to go through and make him clean out the crap that he keeps electronically. But anyway, she contacted us again saying, well, that was a bust. And, basically saying, yeah, I'm not with this company anymore. I'll be starting with this new one at the end of July. Would you like therapy? And then, of course, it's like, okay, yeah, but well, do they take our insurance? Well, let me check. Well, actually, before we'd even responded to her, we had already called their billing department to ask, do you take such and such insurance? No, I'm sorry. Well, do you take this such and such insurance? And so it's like, yeah, well, we take this, but we don't take that. And that is the exact thing that we're on. But she talked with her supervisor, who swears up and down that they take all the insurance. So it's one of these where at the end of July here, coming up, so another month, knock on wood, again, we should be back in therapy with our old therapist, who is already familiar with everyone in the system and whatnot. Obviously, there's going to be some work that needs to be done to rebuild trust, particularly in certain areas. There are some of us who are extremely angry with her, Mimi, for one, who may never speak to her again. We'll see. But it's one of these where the rest of us were like, okay, this is our best shot here, despite some of the difficulties, because we have tried to find therapists, we have tried to get in with a psychologist, and it is tough. There are only a small handful of them out there here in the United States, and like one in our state, and she has a waiting list that's 2 years long. And of course, the local clinic, we're with a clinic here, and their therapy is all too generalized. It's for substance use or anger or things like that. There's very few trauma therapists out there, much less ones that specialize in CSA and DID and dissociative conditions. So it's one of these where it's like, she's like, well, you can see another therapist if you'd like, blah, blah, if you already have a rapport. I don't want to get into that. It's like, okay, how many times do I have to say this? No, we haven't found one. Yes, we need therapy. You already know us. You know our stories. You know their back things. Yeah, we might have to work a bit on the trust now, but at least we can basically pick up from where we left off and go. So yeah, we kind of want you to be our therapist. So hopefully, cross your fingers for us. We won't end up having to deal with the same insurance. Oh no, well, oh yeah, yay, we're going to have therapy. And no, they don't take our insurance. So we're back at square one again. The last time this happened, it took us the better part of a month to restabilize and to settle everyone down. And we told our therapist this last time, we emailed her, and we said, we can't do this again. We cannot do another, oh yeah, we're going to have therapy, and oops, no, all of a sudden you don't. It's like snatching the rug from underneath. We can't do it. We cannot do it anymore. So if this does not work with her this time, we're just going to have to start working the system again. Which means we're going to have to change providers. We're going to have to change clinics back to one that's closer to us, and hope to hell that they spit out somebody down the pipeline that might be able to at least sit there and listen to us and nod their head appropriately from time to time, even if they're not capable or know jack shit about DID. It's really irritating when you end up knowing more about your own condition than most of the people that you run across who are supposedly professionals. Yay for DID being this not so common thing. I'm not going to say rare, because then you get into the 1 or 2% worldwide isn't actually rare, blah, 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 whatever. Split the hair whichever you want. So anyway, enough of that rant. So yeah, okay, cotton candy, the AC just clicked off, so hopefully the noise level should be better for you. Yes. If so, that's what it was. If not, when we're clueless. Okay, here, let's see. Yeah, we're trying to. Sorry, girl, saying, yeah, I know. Yes, absolutely. Just keep trying. Okay, we already did that. Sorry, we're at that place. Yeah, okay. Oxy is literally saying, I would say it's very hard to find a therapist here, especially DID, but healthcare is not that bad apart from that. Did we just crap out again, or is it just, no, it's just the title. Okay. Prioritizing rest and comfort and ourselves is really hard. I think fighting our past conditioning to manage is a radical, revolutionary act of rebellion, Violet. Yeah, and we're right there fighting that fight with you right now, Violet. It's tough. That's the taking your power back. But first, you got to understand that you've been living. Let's not get into this. This is us. Good afternoon, Mr. Chris. Hello, this is us. Glad to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome. Okay, let's see here. Starry Girl, spilling tea. Okay, so current job has been a nightmare. We have a little that just appeared recently. And yeah, Susie's been banging at the gates again. And on top of that, just doing a lot of things at once just to stay afloat. Let's see, Cotton Candy, how about the notification notice you were talking about? Geez, I hope it's not my phone doing that. No. It wasn't that. Instagram notification popped up and we switched to it momentarily. That might have been what it was. Let's see. This will be the verse that sounds intense. Starry Girl, a lot to deal with all at once. The feeling of treading water to stay afloat can be really draining and overwhelming, and it really sucks. Yes. Starry Girl, currently on vacation with a fam. Getting out of the city is nice. Yeah, at least it might give you a little bit more distance-ish. I don't know. Vacations can be weird. This be the verse for what I work. I think it's amazing to tread water and balance things for your system like that. Yeah, absolutely. Props to them for that. This is us. We are seeking a new therapist as well. Our last session with our current therapist is next week. It's always been by phone, but this one will be in person, very sure. To be honest, and this, unfortunately, with our new therapist, it's all going to be video thing, which you might think would be better and easier, but to be dead honest, we would prefer person to person, but then maybe we're spoiled because she literally would come to our house to do sessions. The clinic that she was originally part of, that was one of the things back before COVID, so you could have that one-on-one, and particularly for us, it's like I would much rather have her on hand physically in case we suddenly decide to, well, not decide, in case we suddenly go into a flashback or a little decides to, it's like we've had some really bad ones, and she's been there to help, but it kind of frightens the hell out of us thinking that might happen again, and she's not going to be here. But anyway, we take what we can get, obviously. So I think that you make more of a connection sitting across from a person than you do off of a video screen, but we'll, take what you can get. But yeah, we feel you, this is us. Hopefully that works out for you. Yeah, Circadian, stupid insurance, American problems. Yes, I don't understand why we're the only civilized Western country who does not have nationalized health care. Swear to God, I'm going to move to Canada or something. It'd be nice. Because the U.S. is going straight to hell. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. This be the verse. Chris, our fingers are crossed for you. Really hoping that it goes well this time. There's no seriously intense disappointment. Helps deal with and regulate everyone and everything after. Yeah, it was tough. Thank you. This be the verse. It was tough because it's one of these where it's like, oh, yay, finally, we've got a branch that we can cling on to, on top of this whirling maelstrom that's trying to suck us down. And then it's like, oh, no, not going to happen. And it's like, oh, here's another chance. Nope, that's going to happen. And then here we are the third time. It's like, we're really hoping third time's the charm. So, yeah, thank you. We'll take the fingers crossed. 5 pieces of mind. Our inner kids hate when things change with counselors, like crying inside, not funds. Yeah, no. Let's see. Hope it works out this time for you, Chris. Thank you, Blue Rose. Cotton Candy, we really lost our trust in our old therapist. If we're really having a problem, we call her over the phone. We're still not very trusting yet, and it takes time. We were fortunate that we were able to build trust with her right off the bat, basically because she's a very no-nonsense, no bullshit, straight up front. We can tell when somebody is blowing smoke up our ass, to use the colloquial phrase, built-in lie detector here. You get gaslit, you become... and you live your whole life on the edge, you become very sensitive to when someone is lying and when they're not. And she was just very matter of fact, boom, boom, boom. And not only that, she was able to stay 2 steps ahead of us and 2 steps ahead of data, which is saying something, which is why we recognized, yeah, she can actually help us. so she can help us because she's outside of that box and help us to realize, hey, there's a whole world outside of this box that you've been living in that you don't even know that you've been living in. So it's like, yeah, I mean, she's the one that taught us trauma doesn't lie, which has helped a lot of you guys. So yeah, she's definitely a good therapist. It's just there's been some rocky shit. We get anyway. Long story. So hopefully that will work out. We'll let you guys know in the next. Well, no, actually, because we won't start about the next live stream. The live stream after that, we'll let you know. Let's see here. So thank you. This will be the verse. 5 pieces. Let's see. Or I'm sorry, Cotton Candy. Yeah, we feel you. Jocelyn, just a mom. We're currently paying out of pocket for 2 therapy appointments per week just to keep our kiddos stressed in therapy. Yeah, it gets pricey, just a mom. We were fortunate in that ours was undercutting herself for our therapy. Yeah, for sure. But it can get pricey. That's why the insurance is so important. Okay, let's see. 5 pieces 9 chatting about possibly moving to Germany. Cool. Let's see, Alicia, a therapist. Yeah, don't even get me started. It's so annoying, especially when you need someone specialized. COVID made it even harder to find someone. Yeah. Let's see. Rose is saying the only person in my area who treats system just had to close her practice due to COVID and rent hikes. Ow. We're sorry, Roses. That sucks. Let's see here. Searching for a therapist. It's about 2 years now. No, yeah, it's brutally hard to find somebody for DID. It just really is. I mean, it's like now we understand why so many mental health patients actually end up getting degrees and going into the mental health field, because it's like we need help and there's nobody there. So it's kind of one of these, okay, you see a need, pick up the thing and hope that you can help somebody else out of your own misery. Kind of why we started the channel, but therapists are not us. But to be dead honest, we've long been toying with the idea of looking into scholarships for older folks and going back to school, because we never got a degree and we would love to. Perfectly capable of doing it, just never had the money to do it. So we've been toying with the idea of going back, and it's like actually one of our earliest therapists was like, why don't you just get your master's so you can be my boss? It's like, doesn't quite work that way, but thanks. Of course, that was when she realized that she was kind of out of her depth with us and put us over to the therapist that we've been talking about. But anyway, Lisa, we know you're not watching and everything, but thank you for what you did. Let's see. So, yeah, it's brutally hard to find somebody, which is why it's like, even as much as she's kind of pissed us off, some of us more than others, for the good of the system, we know that, hey, if we can do this, then we need to do it. It's like, yes, please. We're willing to swallow it in order for the greater good. Okay, let's see here. Let's see, this is us. We're saying we're not in a place to meet face to face. She's brand new to therapy, and we knew we were too much for her to handle. Yeah, our first therapist, the one that we just thanked, she was a greenhorn. We were like her first case with the agency right out the gate. And it's like, oh my God. She admitted this to us later after she was no longer our therapist. But yeah, it was, she kind of got, here's the fire hose, have a drink, yeah, or right off the bat. So, but she's a wonderful, wonderful therapist, out of her depth with us, but she gave us the basic tools. She did her job, and she did it well. And we miss her. We do. We miss her. See, where were we? 5 pieces of 9 to Oxford Morning. Lisa being 100% disabled, U.S. military veteran. Would I even be eligible? Okay, they're talking about German citizenry. We don't know, so you guys interested? Just talking there. Citizenship, to be married. Okay. Yes, this is us. Good for you. Just thanked 5 pieces of 9 for your service. Good on you. This is us. We were never in the military ourselves, but we were a military brat. So we know how that works. We know the sacrifices that those who serve make. And thank you. So in case we haven't said it before, thank you, 5 or Cloud or whoever, all of you, for your service. We know it's not easy, and we thank you. So, yeah. Okay, so more about, okay, good. So I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that oxymorons again. Okay, this will be the verse says we got to head out here. Probably catch the rest of the stream after. Hope you all have the best time. It was cool to see everyone. Take care, folks. Thank you. This will be the verse. Thank you very much. And take care. Be safe. Drink water. Get rest. Self-care. Okay, let's see here. Thanks for your thanks. Yes. This is as we were so poor we couldn't afford to finish high school. I had to work full time and raise 3 kids who weren't ours at age 16. You were a young adult like us, yeah. Mood there, absolutely. CPTSD is nearly unheard of here by therapists. Yeah, it's not that best here in the States either. Wow, are we actually all caught up? Yeah, we are. Well, yay. Okay, so where are we at? About 2:30, not too bad. Uh-oh. What are you saying? Uh-oh, 4 or 5? Oh, okay. Hopefully I didn't trigger you there, 5, or, yeah. Grandpa and Uncle were Marines. We thank those who serve us. It's an automatic reaction. Yeah, it's you guys put it out there. Oh, that lack of CPTSD. Yeah. Yeah. That sucks. Indeed. So, we're pretty well caught up. Questions for us? Anything you guys want to know? I know we kind of glossed over it before, but we can open this up to Q&A. Any of you want to have any questions that you've been curious about us or anything? We're here. Yeah, we'll wait on that till later. That kind of a half-formed idea there. Okay, let's see here. Beneficial doing some people learn so late about their DID because it's a hidden condition. It's the very nature of it. Cloud, you know this. This is how it works. We don't learn about it because we don't know that we have it. We're in that box and we don't know because our memories have been blanked out. When, as we say, I think it's in Trauma Doesn't Lie, we don't even remember what it is that we're not supposed to remember because we're not supposed to remember it. And then, of course, you find out and you realize that your entire life was a lie, and then you have to start to try to pick it apart when you're already halfway through your life, and it sucks. So yeah, hard mood there, 5. Hard mood. Let's see here. CPTSD is not okay. The ICD, that's your guys' equivalent of the DISM over here. Mark, do you have any mood locked alters? I recently discovered depressed Mark is actually an alter. Cotton Candy says, hope you all are feeling better soon. Gotta go, Ice Mike. See you soon. Okay, bye, Cotton Candy. Go, rice, rest, ice, compression, elevation. You keep doing that self-care there. So let's see. Mark wants to know any mood locked alters. Recently discovered depressed Mark is actually an alter. That's a good question. Mood locked. We never really thought about it in that way. I suppose the two that leap to mind right off the bat is bootstraps. We're going to remove the word locked towards predisposed, but bootstraps has always been very abrasive, angry. He carries a lot of our anger, and we're not sure exactly what the anger is targeted for, whether it is everything that happened before, or we strongly suspect that a great deal of his involves the death of our late wife. our first wife, because we've come to realize that he was the one that dealt with a lot of just the nitty gritty, day to day, unpleasant crap that came along with that. Uh, it's something that we're untangling. So and we'll say he's a bit of a dick, and he even admits it. But he's softened a bit since we've begun working and realizing that every one of us has different needs and whatnot. Particularly since he clued us in via our current wife, our second wife, that yeah, he'd like to have some time out as well. So there's him, but he has, like I said, softened. He kind of has this gruff, but our wife says that he's gruff, but I don't know. She really likes him. Go figure, for some reason. Anyway, so he's kind of perpetually angry. Like I said, he carries a lot of our anger, but it's not his only emotion. The other one that would come to mind, and again, we're not sure whether or not this is an actual lock or if it's just the way that she is, because our altars are, or at least the EPs and the littles are time locked, as we've explained before in their section. It would be Susie, who is all bright, happy, sunshine, la 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 la, strawberries and flowers and butterflies and things, which, for the amount of trauma that this kid carries, it's scary. That she's that way. We haven't really worked with her. She scares the hell out of us. That's one of the things that we're hoping when we get back into therapy that we can start to address. So that would be the closest parallel that we have, Mark. I'm not sure. Maybe some of the others who are listening, you guys, if you have any inputs on that, whether or not you have emotion locked altars, like Mark was talking about, that sound off. So Mark, I hope that answers your question. There are different phases. It can be, and we've been going through this, is untangling, okay, we're feeling this way now. Who exactly is feeling this? So we get what you're saying, because there are definite distinct mood states and patterns that we will go into, but we haven't successfully tied them to one particular altar or one or two, other than the generals, and talking about this is starting to trigger a TITH. So we're going to take our own warning and move on. So hopefully that helps maybe give you some answers there. Anybody else, like we said, sound off on and give your feedback on that for Mark, if you would. Good question. Okay, let's see here. Rose isn't saying the latest iteration of the DSM has no CPTSD diagnosis. Yeah, they've been revising it. This is us. Mr. Chris, wondering why your wall makes so much sense and brings us to a calm space. Wow. There's several things that go into that. And actually, for those of you who have not seen the entire wall, we're going to show it to you real quick, because you're only seeing a small part of it. So hang on. Okay, yeah, there you're seeing our teleprompter whenever we're reading from a script. That's what we're reading from, is our stupid little teleprompter that we made by ourselves out of 2 picture frames and some felt and glue and whatnot. These suckers cost about $800 or more, but we just do it yourself, so we cobble it together. So those of you who haven't actually seen it, sorry for the motion sickness here, guys. Ew. Okay, there's the full wall. Nothing on the top shelf as of yet, and the round brass thing with a knight in the middle of it directly above our heads. We may actually have to move that. We didn't kind of like how it looked when we did the TITH filming. It kind of looks like we've got this weird halo over our head or something. But this is the wall, and yes, it is deliberately arranged. Switch back. There we go. Hey, we're actually learning this. Old guy learns tech. Next on News at 9. Now, so that's why, and it's probably tied to the trauma, and like most things are, but we have a very pronounced need for symmetry. We don't like asymmetrical things, which is why we are futzing with the camera right now because we got it out of its exact alignment, and now it's going to bug us until we get it back in. Which, as you can see, is another reason that we have these shelves so neatly aligned, because we also use those as camera marks in order to line up our shots to make sure that the camera is centered and is on a level surface. This is slightly off, but we'll live with it for now. So visual order is very important to us. It makes us feel safe. And pairings and groupings and things that are symmetrical are very important. So, and it does actually have a calming effect on a lot of people. So for our own comfort as well, and it's kind of a shame that we've thought about doing these live streams later, but unfortunately this is where our camera sucks and can't get the effect that we really want to convey, which is to have all of these lovely LED candles lit up, because they provide a beautiful orange golden glow to this whole wall and the shadows and whatnot that we really wish that you guys could see. Because we found, at least for us, that dimmer light and particularly light along the yellow-orange spectrum is very calming. We would much rather have an oil lamp burning in the house and read by that than we would electric light. Fortunately, with the LED lighting now, the bulbs can provide exactly the right spectrum that you want. We don't have them yet because they're pricey, but at least the tech is finally caught up with it. So yeah, it's deliberately arranged to be calming for us and also for you. And there's also a lot of psychological principles that go into it. We are providing a safe space. Safe spaces are orderly. You can predict each time how it's going to look. This is the same psychology that we use in the safe space for the little stories. It needs to be as close, and I know that we've changed it and we've been tweaking it over the course of time to where we've got it now with a much more professional finished look, but we weren't technically capable of doing what you're seeing now is, or will see in the upcoming episodes after these two, once we start live filming again here. Because now we have the full green screen wall and we've redecorated the castle over here. I think I can show this to you. This is much closer. We've been recovering and redoing that. That's the castle. We may or we may not do some additional artwork on that. We haven't decided yet because we're going with a specific look that's kind of half live and half line drawn animation almost. Like the sheep, for example, those are very animated. So we've tried to blend those two looks, but it's all about symmetry and regularity. It's providing a mental safe space, subconscious cues that then enable your mind and your subconscious to relax and say, okay, I'm safe here. This is a good spot. This is neat and orderly. This is here and that's there, and everything is centered. And we've tried to eliminate any of the lack of symmetry automatically jars our mind. Human beings like to have things in nice, neat patterns. And so we've tried to play on that not only for ourselves, but also for you guys. There's actually far more psychology that goes into little things like that. So very clever of you to pick up on that we do. Like I said, almost everything is revolves around us wanting to provide a consistent, safe space for you. And we also don't want to detract too much. And we also know that whenever you put anything up on the internet, people are going to be looking at what you got in the background there. We wish that we could show you everything, but then unfortunately you'd be looking at the wall and not us. So anyway, we thought about bookshelves, but it's just too cluttery. Anyway, so I hope that answers your question there. Let's get back to it. So yeah. Let's see what they had to say, what you folks had to say to Mark. Let's see, 5 pieces minusing. Okay, where do we go? Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, so this is us. I hope that answered your question. Sorry, we're caught up now. Blue Rose at Chris, any updates on your little one who is all rainbows and unicorns? Have you found a way to be less scared for her, avoiding her less? Yeah, we just answered that in our question to Mark, so there you go there, Blue Rose. Let's see here. People systems. What do you mean by this? CPTSD. Okay, talking back and forth. About CPTSD not being in the DSM-5. Roses is saying they're also confused as to why they would do that. It was a contentious thing making the rounds at the start of the year. Okay, so Mark saying, in our case, a depressed Mark, Tanner, and non-depressed Mark, me, thought we were both Mark, but we couldn't understand what it was like to be in the other mood state. It came up in therapy. Yeah, we do understand what you're saying. We don't experience, well, we already answered the question for you, but we get what you're saying, yeah. Let's read on because we're after what other people said. 5 pieces 9. Maybe she likes Bootstraps because he's clear and can be counted on. Yeah, that's valid. We'll have to ask her, but yeah, that's valid. He's pretty much no nonsense. We think he's sweet on her, but also it's one of these things where I think there's kind of I don't know, we're kind of getting this. Maybe shouldn't say this type of thing, but we mentioned that he might be carrying that he was the one that dealt with a lot of the stuff with our caring for our first wife who died. And we were very hands-on because we got the medical background in taking care of her end of life, and we think that he was the one that did it. And so there are parts of us who are still shattered over that, and always will be. I mean, it's just, you can't love someone like that and not miss them. I mean, it's been well over a decade, but we still, as a matter of fact, yesterday would have been her birthday. And we actually managed to avoid dealing with a trauma-versary. We actually got through that. So yay for us, and this is slipped and it's bugging us again. Like we said, symmetry is important. There we go. Yeah, okay, we lost our train of thought. Oh yeah, about bootstraps. So yeah, that's a valid point there, 5. We'll have to ask. More about the CPTSD. Okay. Oxymoron is saying to Mark, we know something like this too, but oh, there goes the tablet. But still not too sure what exactly is going on here. Okay, this is at 36%. I can unplug it. Let's see. 5 pieces 9 is saying to Mark, Carrie holds all the guilt and shame for our system, so she lives in sadness and depression. Yeah, that was Christopher. And we know we've got another little there. We've already been aware of Christopher D, but he really things get complicated there because he split into Jack and John and Mimi, and so it's a subsystem. It's a alterception. But yeah, he's got a lot of that's really tangly, and we were just starting to get into that particular part when we lost therapy when we did. So we're kind of looking forward to getting back into that. Looking forward, quote unquote. So yeah, we feel you there, 5 and Carrie. It's okay. Let's see here. Okay, talking more about the PTSD, which is good. Narc is saying what happened was there was another voice almost exactly like mine in the mind. I started talking to it, and we've since figured it out that we've had in front and felt the depression coming. Yeah, that thing that you were just talking about there. We've been trying to untangle that as well. Not depression, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Finds the wall peaceful. Yeah. Deliberately organized. Yes. Let's see. Cotton Candy wants to friend. Are we OCD? We are. No. Yes and no. We are not hardcore OCD. Everything has to be exactly this way or we will freak out. Kind of, but not to like a pathological level, which is a surprise. We've got just about everything else going on. But it still bugs us. We are that person who will walk into somebody's home, and if their painting is askew on their wall, we will attempt to fix it. I would say at least partially because, okay, you want a story from the past. The first time that we ever met our therapist, the one that we're trying to get back with, our second therapist, our trauma therapist, we went into her office for an assessment. Dang it, that sucker keeps slipping. There we go. Yeah, maybe we are OCD. Anyway, we were very nervous, and this was still back at the point where we couldn't even go outside, and we've been working on this as well. But we were in there and we were totally freaked out because it was like literally back to the wall all the way down the corridor. And so we finally sit down there and we're settling in, and she's in front of the computer, and we've got our cell phone and our keys and our pen and our little notepad there, and we took them out of our pockets and set them there on the desk. And of course, as she's typing, we're sitting there and we're arranging them exactly in order and size so that they're everything neat and equal and everything is all the way that it should be. And she looked at us and she looked at this and she said, "So what is this?" And without the data was pretty much upfront with both points. He says, "Well, if I had to take a guess, I would say that it's a manifestation of our subconscious desire to keep order at all times in an environment where we feel out of control fundamentally." And she just kind of sat back in her chair and looked at us. And it's like, I think that was the first time that she realized just exactly what she was dealing with us, because, Dana didn't even think about it. It's dropped pat. Oh, yeah, it's just, we're doing this because we're out of control of this situation. And this is a tactile, physical way that we can actually take control of the situation in some small shape, way, or form, which is probably not what she was expecting to hear. But there it is. So are we OCD? Smidge, maybe. It does bug us. So yeah. So yeah. So everyone who is OCD, we feel you. Okay, let's see here. You guys are talking back and forth, which is great. We love it when you guys share information and chat. Let's see, Oxymoron is saying to Mark, with us, it was a sudden thought of who am I? And then the realization that she was not me, although until at that point she thought she was. So started calling me and we talked. Yeah, we're trying to work that one out. And we're both kind of stunned. This is us. We had to rearrange our room for the same reason. Clutter makes us feel anxious. Bunny. Yeah, Bunny, we feel you. Unfortunately, we're not as good with it in the bedroom as we should be. Our side of the bed tends to get messy. By messy, we mean clothes on the floor, maybe a candy wrapper or two or something, depending upon who's been eating at night and what they ate and whether or not they decided to actually put it in the trash can rather than just on the floor. Somebody else will get that. We have a midnight snacker, and we're not sure exactly who it is yet. We suspect that it's our non-co, who apparently doesn't seem to be interested in doing anything other than gorging themselves on snack food late at night, and who knows what else, honestly. So at least it's a safe thing, though it doesn't do our waistline or our stomach any good. Anyway, but yeah, so but we do tend to keep it pretty damn clean. For example, first thing in the morning that we do is we have to make the bed, because even if we do nothing else, if we're capable of nothing else for the entire day, at least we've made the bed. And we cannot continue until the bed is made, because it's not right. Certain things have to be done before you can move on to other things. This comes before that. The trouble becomes when this leads to this, which leads to this, which leads to this, before you can get to that. So yeah, one of the things that Roses calls the banal hell, or banal, however you pronounce it, of living with DID. Not as dramatic as a flashback or anything, but still just as annoying. Okay, so we were ranting there. Let's see here. So yeah, Bunny, we understand. Circadian saying yellow light is biologically calming because it helps the body produce melatonin. Yes, absolutely. So yeah. Oxymoron says I have to take a little break, back soon. Blue Rose, we like order and symmetry too, and we sleep with a little orange light. Yeah, one of those salt crystal lights. They give off a lovely glow. We've got one of those. Whoops. Let's see here. This is us. This is why we come here as often as possible. It's what we consider our safe space, and we feel you truly understand DID very deeply. Lana, thank you, Lana. We're not sure about understanding DID very deeply. We've done a great deal of research, and we try to keep ourselves up on it, but we're not experts, and we're not, doctors or therapists or anything. So we only can give you what we've discovered, and we do try our best, but things are always changing. So don't take anything that we say as that might not change in the future. It's like the theory of structural dissociation. That's basically our cornerstone and the current cornerstone in the psychiatric community. But there are other theories out there that may or may not be just as valid. This is why we need the medical community to do hard science, so that we can nail some of these things down. But for us, the theory of structural dissociation makes the most sense. It works for us. It seems to be the most fact-based at this on the hard science, which you might have noticed we tend to stick to because that gives us a base to build on. For us, at least, you cannot build your life on inconsistencies. That's what was done to us with the abuse. So that control and that consistency as a necessary building block comes on. So that's why we tend to go with the science, because there's less fudgy, squiggly, even though we still run into it. But everything isn't changing. But thank you. We are glad that you find this a safe space. That means that we're succeeding in doing what we wanted to do, which was to give a safe space where we can talk about all the real nitty gritty without the, oh, I'm doing my makeup and I changed 6 times and we're going to have a switch at the end of the video, and just stop us there. Anyway. Those who know what we're referring to. Although more on a general basis. Don't get me wrong, everybody comes at this a different way, but, and we hear this from a lot of you guys, is it's almost been glamorized, and it's not that we're out here to kick you guys in the gut. We're here to give you an accurate representation of DID and what it's like dealing with it, and particularly for an older body system. Which is why, we don't have huge videos with Mimi out doing makeup and things like that, because she doesn't want to do it. We don't push anyone to do what they don't want to do, but if you want the frou-frou fluff, DID is fun, that ain't what our channel is about. Are there great things about it? Yeah, absolutely. We're able to think and conceptualize and experience things on a level that NTs just can't and never will be able to. Small compensation for what we've had to go through and the hell that we live in constantly. But yeah, it's anyway, moving onwards. So yeah, thank you, Lana. Very deeply, we're not sure, but we share with you what we find out. We do try to stay abreast, and if we screw up or somebody else has more knowledge, we will let you know. It's like when we initially said, I think it was in the trauma line when, we're speaking about the amygdala starts unlocking the memories, and we're like, as to how that does it, we don't know. We'll let you know as soon as we find out. And we've put a little pop-up because, sure enough, we found out exactly later on in pursuing more research, exactly the mechanisms that goes into that. So we'll always give a link to updated content as we can. So those of you who are new people, go back through our content, because we've covered a lot of important stuff. And while some of our videos are sequential, most of them, don't be afraid to necro post either. Go back, review the catalog. We've got everything in playlists to make things easy, but there's a lot of heavy-duty info to be found out there. But be warned, when you see a trigger warning, take it seriously, because our longtime viewers will tell you we don't pull punches. We're giving you the real straight up warts and all. That said, we don't try to trauma dump, because ours is really serious, but we don't believe in comparative trauma. Trauma is trauma is trauma is trauma. It's the effects. It's like, and plus we don't want to set up that whole, oh, your trauma is so much worse than mine, you poor thing. We don't want you to feel sorry for us. We want to help prevent, we want to help share information to make it less confusing for, citizens who have just been diagnosed, or, those who are older that may not feel a connection with the younger end of the spectrum content. We're going to stop right there before we put our foot any further and or malice. Okay, so moving back here. Let's see here. Okay, Oxymoron is back. Kaleidoscopes went to bed. Bye from them. Thank you. Good night, Kaleidoscopes. We do the painting fixing too. Yeah. We can't help it. It's like if there is a painting askew, we have to. It's just it's like a compulsion. Let's see, Witchy, I have to have my DVDs in particular orders and age restriction grouping. That's a great idea, actually. 5 Pieces of 9 is saying the same. Blue Rose is saying, Chris Leffel, we had pretty much the same thing to our therapist for the first time when we met her, yeah. 5 Pieces of 9 is having a smoke break, no problem. Rosa said she was ranting about how all games that feature dissociative amnesia are, oh shit, I killed a man when all I want is, oh god, where did I put the baking soda, dissociative cake baker sim. Yeah, pretty much. Blue Rose, we don't really care for all those fluff channels, but we have to admit we loved cooking along with Rosemary. Oh, no, don't worry. She'll be doing additional stuff. In fact, she's already plotting a holiday edition. It's like it's July almost. Well, I just have to get a hold of it. I just have to start planning things early because, I know we can't do her. They each have their own individual accent that comes from we don't know where the hell. I mean, anyway, they're them then. And if I try to do them, then it just sounds weird. And anyway, so yeah, you will see more of Rosemary. Mimi has been making some mental background noise about doing another video. Yeah, okay. Don't push, please. Sorry, I got too many up front at the moment. Oof. Sorry. Okay. Settle down, guys, please. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, I had to get the ducks in order there. Yeah, so there will be more Rosemary, and Mimi will make an appearance again at some other point. I know you guys want to see Bootstraps do it yourself, but he's kind of like, why the hell would I want to do that? Nobody's going to want to watch me. It's like you be surprised, bro. And plus there's forget us, and younger kids nowadays aren't taught the same things that we are, like do it yourself and how to, because they never had a grandfather who was actually that type to show them. So we're kind of working on him with it, but it's also one of these things. Our guiding principle has been, it's a free forum for each of us, our alters, but we don't want to push anyone into a particular role, which is why sometimes there may be a huge gap in programming. Case in point, Mimi. The last video that she did, we actually had to not remove, but private, because one of our daughters was on camera in that, and she has since left the house and moved on to her adult life. And for privacy's sake, we went ahead and we pulled that video and privated it, out of respect for her and her privacy needs and whatnot going forward. So it's not that we were trying to deny Mimi or anything, but it was just for sensitivity reasons and respect reasons for other members of the household. We had to go ahead and private that one out. So she's been going, well, it's like, you're just trying to get rid of me. You're just trying to keep me off camera. It's like, no, we're not, hon. It's just, this had to be done for that. And plus, yes, we will admit, and Mark, this might be something that you're familiar with as well, is that it is still uncomfortable. It is very uncomfortable for us, and it feels very awkward to let the ladies have the front. I mean, Rosemary, she really doesn't care. It's like she's past the point of where she gives a rat's ass about anything like looks or sexuality or things like that, But I mean, Mimi, she's 13. She's a 13-year-old goth rocker chick from 1984. 81 to 84. It seems to lean more towards 84, but that's trauma untangling. So she will show up again. Percival, obviously, he is more than happy to do the little stories. Although he has been making noise about doing another adult novella/novel for Percival Reed. So on the horizon-ish. So yeah, that's why our programming can seem a little Is spit spotty? Uh, yes, too many cooks in the kitchen in a sense. Yeah, exactly, Stargirl. That's a great way to put it. Spindle, hello. Super late, but I'm here. No, it's okay, Spindle. No problem. Welcome. Good to see you. How is everyone? Very. We'll let them ask. Let's see. Our month. Chronic pain, bone spur on the left foot above the Achilles tendon. Dealing with a lot of pain. Possibly going to be starting up therapy with our new therapist at the end of July, or old therapist at the end of July. We were just talking about the programming and folks and the different alters being on it and whatnot, and stuff that you'd like to see, stuff that's maybe down the line, and just basically our whole approach on, giving everybody their space for their programming. So there's that. That's the TLDR. Let's see here. Spindle saying, I love privacy. Thanks for doing that for your daughter. Yeah, it was the right thing to do. It was a very careful balance, but there were a lot of other circumstances which we're not talking about that went into that decision and the whole family dynamic at that point in time. And I don't even think that our daughter knows that we pulled that, or maybe has even thought about it. But in those, there were two videos. One was a short, and the other was the second part where Mimi shows back up again. Those were the two that she appeared in, and we thought that it was the right thing to do for even if she didn't request it, or maybe didn't even know, and who knows, maybe she's not even aware of it at this point in time. But as parents and as a responsible system, we were not comfortable, or rather, we made the group decision that it would be better to preserve privacy for her and for the future coming up. So unfortunately, Mimi kind of got shortchanged because of that. But at the same token, she kind of understands. So that's why she's been making noise about doing another appearance. But it's also one of these things where when she wants to do it, it's like 2:30 a.m. and it's like, okay, well, what do you want to do? So I don't know. It's like, well, you kind of have to have a plan of what you want to do for us to set it up for you, since you don't know how to run the tech, and we get a massive headache every time that you try to figure it out. Because we have to set it up for her. She's just Percival. He's techie enough, but and that's because he's an ANP. Mimi is an EP. She kind of straddles that line a little bit, but basically she's about 80% EP. And so it's like, okay, well, what do you want to do, Mimi? I don't know. And it's like, why are you asking me? I just want to do it. It's like, yeah, but what do you want to do? God, it's like, and that's when she goes back into her room and presumably starts thinking about these things. So yeah, it's complicated, but yeah, thank you. We understand that you approve and understand why we made that decision. So yes, Mimi will be back when she finally figures out what that she wants to do and wants to say. And yeah, so 5 pieces of 9. I envy the level of communication that you have. They keep me in the dark mostly. That is, we wish we could take credit for it, but as we've explained before, this is just simply because of how we split and how we grew up. We split pre-verbal before we were 3. So we grew up together, and it never occurred to us that we weren't one individual. We thought that everybody had people on the inside of your head and imaginary friends that you would talk to and play with, and no, not so much. So we by hook or by crook learned to work together, as it were, to try to escape the box that we were locked in, that we didn't even know that we were locked in. And then the diagnosis just ever since then, we have actually been separating more into our individual selves more strongly. And so it's kind of like in reverse, but it's weird. We've just kind of learned to roll with it, which is why we don't push anybody to make content or express themselves or even come out or even front. So yeah, that's basically where that's at. So thank you. We're not sure we can really take credit for having better communication. Sometimes we don't, but we've learned to respect that and not push. So thank you, ish. Yeah, we get you. So thank you. Spindle, ouchie, bone spur, wishing you well. Yeah, it freaking hurts, man. We are in agony. It's like, right, we've got our pain pill waiting for us when we're done with the stream, but we needed to be able to function to actually talk to you guys. And drugged up Chris is not a lot of fun, as amusing as it might be. You think we have a hard time keeping track of things normally? Yeah. Um, but yeah, it freaking hurts, and it's been going on for more than a month now. We go into the podiatrist on Tuesday or Wednesday. But anyway, we know that it's good because Data had to go and read about all about it and how they treat it and how they take care of it. But more than likely, we're going to have it shaved down. And the idea of having to do a surgery where they're shaving bits of our bone, yeah, that's going to be a challenge that's ahead of us. So we'll let you guys know, but we're not going to know exactly what we're looking at until next week. But since it's with the Achilles tendons as well, I don't know, we could be looking at anything from it depends. This is where we're basically going to find out is just exactly how bad it is and what we're going to have to do about it. So we're in that limbo, just trying to make it through the day, one day at a time, and try to stay active because we can't. We don't deal with downtime well. And this is, again, part of the trauma conditioning because we were always expected to be doing things and doing things for others. And just busy all the time. So we are not comfortable with sitting down and doing nothing. It's very difficult for us to do that. And part of it is because the stress response cycle is currently kicked on. So the brain is, or permanently kicked on, because so the brain is constantly looking for danger. Data is going this, doing this predictive patterning, and it makes it virtually impossible to relax. So we have this constant programmed need to be doing something no matter how much we hurt. And we will push ourselves well past the point where we should not. Yeah, issues that we got to work on. So yeah, I don't know if you guys are like that, but yeah, we have a very hard time not being busy. It's virtually impossible for us to sit still for more than like a TV show's worth without feeling that urge to, okay, we should be doing the dishes or sweeping the floor or working on the cabinetry or something like that. It's tough. Okay, so yeah, but the bone spur is nasty. It hurts, and it's been getting progressively worse. So we finally drug ourselves into the doctor and then into the X-rays. But it is a challenge for us. This is one of our biggest areas of self-neglect that we've talked about before. Ours is medical and dental. We will avoid it like the plague until we absolutely positively freaking have to go in, and it's generally because we can't deal with pain anymore. And as we've mentioned, our pain threshold is high. Seriously. So it has to be in the, oh my God, I'm on a 13 on the 1 to 10 pain scale before we will do something. The fear is that ingrained. So yes, anyway, here we go. Let's see. Spindle's doing okay, just trying to stay awake. Get some sleep, Silly. We appreciate you showing up, but you're more important than we are. Circadian, I think you also made the right choice for your daughter's privacy. Yeah, thank you. It was that's the kind of decision that you have to make as a parent. You have to look beyond your own needs and your own immediate gratifications, or in this case, the whole part of the system. It's like because it was, we need to do this. This is the right thing to do versus we don't want to be muffling or muzzling Mimi's time out. And it was a very difficult decision to make, but in the end, the group voted that it would be better off. That was the right decision, so that's what we did. Let's see here. To Oxymoron, perhaps you could help me figure out what she wants to do or what she can do. Yeah, we've tried. You ever tried to convince a teenager to do or not do something or make a decision on something? Sinking boat, here's a bucket, got a hole in the bottom, have fun. No, but we've told her, okay, when you figure it out, we will make this happen. So the ball's in her court right now. Let's see. True teenager Mimi, laugh out loud. Circadian says he also thinks that they made the right choice. Or was that the one we just heard? Anyway, um, I'd like to hear Mimi talk about her favorite music groups slash artists. Sorry, we skipped over that one because Oshimorans jumped out. Blue Rose is saying also we were thinking about music for Mimi as well. Yeah, funnily or interestingly enough, funnily, is that a word? Funnily, uh, we've actually kind of been thinking about that as well. It's like instead of just like appearing, she could like do Mimi's music, like a playlist type of thing. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to monetize it or anything, but just keep those unmonetized. Like we were thinking about maybe like just doing a community post or something or somehow where it's like every morning or every week or something we could give you, like maybe every morning we could give you guys like a song to listen to kind of kick your that fit the mood of the day or our mood of the day or expressed her music choices. I mean, obviously, because of copyright we wouldn't be able to do, we don't care about that, but we're just illustrating that because there would be uh, difficulties in the way that we would actually do it, and plus we don't want to like bombard you guys with every day. It's like, but I don't know, you guys sound off. Would you like maybe a song recommendation a day in the community post? That would probably be the best way to do it, would be to just go to the community post and link to a video containing that particular song. Yeah, because that way we could avoid that whole cluster of stuff that would go along with copyright. I think we may just do that. Okay, you guys sound off in the comment section or in the chat log here. Let us know what you think of that idea. Now, warning: her music taste can be a little eclectic. So if you're not like into Rat first thing in the morning or something, anyway, you'll be able to judge for yourselves. But let us know if you think that might be a good idea. To just kind of give her a thing uh, while she's making up her mind WTF she's going to do for an actual video. So anyway, idea evolved right there. So yeah, very astute, you guys. Spindle. Yeah, excellent. Spindle is saying to Five Pieces Mind, darkness can be frustrating, non-communication between the altars. But know that it's also a safety thing. Be patient and kind to yourself and your others. You never know who may shed light. Yeah, that is an excellent and very astute observation, and you are dead on the nose there, Spindle. It is still a protective. Keep in mind, we are still systems, and this is not I'm a system, that's it. No, this is a continually evolving thing. We are subject to the patterns that have been laid down and the trauma bonding and everything else. And gaining that perspective, the outside perspective that, oh, gee, yeah, I was abused. Something happened to me that was hideous. And keeping it are two different things, because the abusive patterning is always going to be warring against the self-realization. So yeah, the battle continues, boys and girls. Okay, so yeah, great point there, Spindle. Yeah, and Five is replying to that. Yeah, liaison for the counselor by revealing the trauma to me so that I can share that with our counselor. We're sorry. Yeah. Blue Rose, it's hard for us to just sit and not being productive. Yes. Yeah, Spindle's talking back to Five about being the monkey in the middle, essentially. Let's see. Witchy says, when I asked about pain, I automatically compare it to the pain after spinal surgery. If it doesn't match up, I don't consider it pain. Yeah, and actually, that's a disservice to us when we do that, because it's a minimization of our own needs, which again we've been trained to do anyway. So yeah, that can be a dance. That can be an uncomfortable dance. There, we get you, Witchy. We do. Which is, like I said, we don't believe in comparative trauma. We also don't believe in comparative pain to a certain point. I mean, obviously, there's a big difference between a splinter in your finger and breaking your leg, but it's the effects of the pain of the trauma that are worth focusing on, really. Okay, let's see here. 5 is saying pain threshold. Migraine made us pass out in the ER waiting room. Ow. After we woke up, nurse asked our pain between 1 to 10 and responded 11. Yeah. Oxymoron is saying about Mimi, not convince her or tell her what to do, show her the possibilities or something like this. Oh, we have Oxy. It's she's privy to the full range, but it's one of these where it's going to be up to her. The ball is in her court. But also part of this is that nobody ever offered her the up until we discovered that we were sister, the opportunity to express herself. So it's kind of like with Bootstraps, never saying that he wanted to spend time out. It's just it was never in her bailiwick, never on her horizon. So it's like, okay, wait, you're telling me I can do what I want and say what I want, and that'll be cool? I don't believe you. That's not right. So it's kind of like you can see where it can be difficult, but she's aware, but we're not going to push her. So yeah, but she's been making niggly little thoughts about it lately. So more than likely, before long, whenever that is. Okay. Spindle MTV. The M stands for Mimi. Let's see, Circadian. You could make a YouTube playlist with Mimi's music recommendations. Yeah, that's another great idea. Okay, we can do that or the community posting either way. Blue Rose, yes, bombard us with music. Would love music Rex. Okay, no problem. What is Spotify? Okay, we keep hearing about Spotify, but we've never been on it. No clue how it works. We will make a note to see what it's all about. Let's see. Witchy Mimi could be on screen, and for EG, I like Jonah Jett, and my favorite songs are XYZ and a little clip of said songs. XYZ. Okay, we're thinking about a rush there with ZZ. Why ZZ? YKK? Sorry. Music thing, go back. Like the playlist idea, yeah, for example, a child's first bee sting and reaction will be way different than an adult's first bee sting and reaction. Yeah, exactly. We lost our train of thought. We're actually probably gonna have to close out the stream, guys, because we're getting pinchies on the TITH headache, and our ankle is just in fire. Okay, you know, like the scene in June. Put your hand in the box. What's in the box? Pain. Yeah. Well, our foot is in the box right now. So we're actually going to go ahead and break down and go do some self-care and take our pain pill and hopefully be out of pain for the rest of the day and take it easy and go fight that. Oh my God, we have to be doing something. We shouldn't be sitting here watching our show and binge watching, Umbrella Academy on Netflix. Season 3 just dropped, guys, for those of you who are interested. By the way, also season 3 of For All Mankind. If you haven't seen that, you should check it out. Awesome alternate history on the whole early space race thing. Of course, we've been watching, for those of you who are Trekkies out there, Star Trek. If you have not watched Star Trek Strange New Worlds, go watch that show. Oh my God, real Star Trek is back. They have nailed it, nailed the film. The crew, just the whole cast is just gelled together. They're awesome. They got a great energy going. Anson Mount is just spot on perfect as Christopher Pike. It's an awesome show. They've had a couple of episodes that were kind of like, yeah, okay. Not as good, but it was under these. Well, this isn't quite as good as the other territory. So, but all over the place. If you've been frustrated with where Trek has been storyline and feel recently, go watch Strange New World. It's a gas. It's great. It's really, really great. So enough gushing about that. Let's see what you guys have to say. Take care, everyone. Take care of you. Yes, I know. Take care. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Take care of yourself. Hope that everyone has a good month. See everyone next month. Wishing the best. Kindly, Cloud. Thank you, Cloud. Like I said, the next thing that should probably see out of us content-wise is likely to be one of the little stories. Maybe we'll squeeze out the Moonlight wrap-up first. We're not sure, but those are the two that we're planning on. Again, that's going to depend upon how the stuff with the foot goes and the bone spur and how much energy, because as you chronic pain sufferers know, it zaps your energy. It really does. and it makes self-care very hard. So with that, thank you guys. Thank you as always for watching, for spreading the channel around to new folks to maybe clue in on. Feel free to do that. We're not asking for self-promotion, but if there's somebody out there who will benefit from the content that you think, or might just, to help not feel alone, please feel free to point them our way. Mark, thank you very much for doing that in your upcoming presentation. We thank all of you guys for your support, for your questions, for just hanging around the channel, and for contributing to it, which is why we have these live streams in the forum manner. We greatly appreciate that it's not just us, answering Q&As, that everybody has really come together around this idea of helping each other out, and that each person has a piece of this puzzle, and that we can all help each other. That's great. That shows that our original vision is getting through and getting out there, and that we're all helping each other, which is what it's all about. Because if we don't support each other, who the hell will? So with that, we're going to go ahead and close it out. Thank you guys so much. And as always, we remind you, you are loved, you are strong, and you are not alone. All right, guys, this is Chris and the rest of the Infinity System signing off. We're going to go take our medications and try to sleep. All right, thank you guys. Bye now.